next we'll have coming up Representative John Bell Edwards, who happens to be running for governor in 2015. And while this is a banquet only and not a campaign event, I must make that disclaimer, etc., etc.
Why?
Because it's a banquet. It's a technicality of the type of event. That's all. Just have to be clear that we're doing a banquet. That's all. Okay? I would not be holding this event if I was trying to stop us from making some progress. All right. So I'm going to let Representative John Bell Edwards say a few more words about the legacy of Huey P. Long.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Don. It is my pleasure to be here tonight. You just heard from Ted James, who's the Vice Chair of the House Democratic Caucus. I wish you could have been in the House chamber when we beat a terrible bill that was going to restructure the education system here in East Baton Rouge Parish. In a way that the locals didn't want, that was unconstitutional, that would have never worked. But Ted James gave one of the best floor speeches that I have heard in my 7 years here, and he had a big part in why that bill went down to a disastrous defeat. And I know that Belinda Davis and all of you right here, you all know what I'm talking about. But Ted does a wonderful job. Let me tell you, the legacy of Huey Long, my goodness. The man believed in people, and he built things to give them better opportunities. He invested in higher education. He gave free textbooks to children. He built hospitals, charity hospitals. Let me tell you, we have a charity hospital system in this state that goes back to the 1700s. It survived all of those wars, the Civil War, the World Wars. It survived hurricanes and depressions. It could not survive Bobby Jindal and a Republican majority in the legislature. And as a result of that, this year we had an instrument authored by Gerald Long to close the Huey P. Long Hospital in Alexandria. That's how far we've come. Now think about that. Now to close the hospital system, the governor came up, he concocted a scheme to defraud the federal government out of match. They caught his hand in a cookie jar. And I want you to think about it for a minute. He came up with this scheme called advanced lease payments. It gets technical, just know it's a scheme. Know it was illegal. All to get a match of 62 cents on the dollar to treat the very same population that Barack Obama says, I'll give you 100 cents on the dollar. And he says, no, I don't want a dollar. Just give me the 62 cents. Now, how crazy are we in Louisiana to go along with this guy in the governor's mansion? It's ridiculous. Huey P. Long paved highways in the state of Louisiana. The governor came up with a plan to save money by going back to 1-inch thick pavement. I'm not joking, guys. We paid $5 million for a consulting firm to come out of New Orleans to tell us how to come out of New York to tell us how to save money. At least if they'd have come out of New Orleans, we'd have been spending that money in the state, right? One of the things they said was quit using asphalt thicker than 1 inch. You think I'm making that up? That's true. Governor Everett's mother was a midwife. Guess what? To save money in the Medicaid program, we're going to start making those mothers use midwives because they're doing too many C-sections when doctors do them in hospitals. You think I'm making that up too, don't you? That's Bobby Jindal's way to save money in 2014 in the United States of America. Is to reintroduce and make people use midwives more often so they don't go to the hospital and have C-sections. Now that is just ridiculous.
He's in India still, that's why.
Now, to pay for all the great things that Huey P. Long did, he taxed oil and gas companies because that's where the wealth was, and they were taking that out of our ground. Now this week, shamefully, we immunized oil and gas from even having to pay for the damages that they caused our coast, and we're going to pass that bill to the taxpayers. Now, that is a horrendous way to absolutely slap the Huey P. Long legacy in the face. But that's what we're about in Louisiana today. But we can do better. Better days are ahead, but we've got to make better decisions. We've got to elect better people. And I will tell you, if we don't put somebody in the governor's mansion who wants to put people first again, build institutions that afford more opportunity, and won't mind scrapping with the oil and gas companies and get them to pay their fair share and be good corporate citizens, we're in for a long haul. And if you think somebody like David Vitter will do those things and improve the state of Louisiana, you are sadly mistaken. The good news is we don't have to have David Vitter, but it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take, and that's why I echo what Ted said. If you can give money, give money. If you can give time, give time. If you can burn that shoe leather, burn that shoe leather. Make those phone calls, whatever you can do. But we've got to get it done in 2015 in the state of Louisiana. Otherwise, we are going to be, well, we'll just, I guess, be sitting around having our drinks wondering what happened to the great state of Louisiana. Let's not let that happen. And by the way, in case you haven't heard, I'm John Bell Edwards. I'm a Democrat, and I'm running for that governor, and I'll be that person. And I don't know who else is going to run for governor. I don't know who else is going to run, but I want you to ask yourself this question when the time comes to make your decision. Of all those who's going to ask you to vote for him to be governor, which one of them stepped up when it might have mattered and said, Bobby Jindal, you're leading this state down a rat hole? Who was it that did that? John Bell Edwards did it when Bobby Jindal was at 70% of the polls. Now, it's easy to do when he's at 35%. I don't know who those 35% are, by the way. It's easy to do it today, but I'm going to tell you, Jay Darden didn't do it, David Vitter didn't do it. I don't think any of these other people have done it. I did it, and I paid a little bit of a price for it as well. We don't even get 1 inch thick asphalt in Tangipahoa Parish. That's okay. Better days are ahead for Tangipahoa Parish too. Look, God bless you. God bless you. We can do better. We've got to make better decisions. And we've got to work together. And it is a beautiful sight up here. It is a beautiful sight. Let me tell you, I go to Republican functions, believe it or not, and the room doesn't look like this. This room looks like the state of Louisiana, and we've got to not let the Republicans use that against us. That has got to be a